My name is Lisa, and I used to be afraid of speaking, not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I couldn't say it in English. I grew up in a small town where English wasn't something people used in daily life. My parents were loving, hardworking people, but they had never learned English. At home, we spoke only in our native language. In school, English was just another subject, something you had to memorize, not understand. I remember one day in sixth grade, the teacher asked everyone to read a paragraph from the English book. When it was my turn, I stood up, looked at the page, and froze. The words looked strange. I tried to speak, but nothing came out. My lips moved, but no sound followed. I stumbled on the first word. Then someone giggled. Then another. And then the whole class laughed. That moment broke something inside me. I sat down, embarrassed and angry with myself. From that day, I stopped raising my hand in English class. I stopped trying. I stayed silent, even when I knew the answer. I was scared of being laughed at again. But inside, I knew I had to learn this language. As I grew older, I noticed how English opened doors for people. Students who spoke English fluently were invited to competitions. They gave speeches. They were admired. I felt invisible. In high school, I made a promise to myself. I will learn English no matter how hard it is. But we didn't have any good English coaching classes in my area. I didn't have anyone to practice with. All I had was a slow internet connection, an old phone, and a stubborn heart. I started with YouTube. I typed, "How to learn English from zero." At first, it felt impossible. I didn't understand anything. The accents were too fast. The words were unfamiliar. But I slowed the videos down. I turned on subtitles. I watched the same videos again and again, sometimes 10 times. I started writing every new word in a small notebook I kept beside my bed. That notebook became my treasure. Still, I couldn't speak. I knew some words in my head, but they refused to come out of my mouth. I would practice in the mirror every morning. "Hello, my name is Lisa. I want to speak English. I am learning every day." I said it with a smile, even if no one was there to hear it. Then I discovered something that changed everything: language exchange apps. I started talking to strangers who were learning my language, and in return, they helped me speak in English. The first time I had a conversation with someone from another country, my hand was shaking. I said, "Hi," and then forgot the next word. But that person was kind. They said, "It's okay. Take your time." That one sentence gave me so much courage. I realized something important. People don't expect you to be perfect. They just want to understand you. After that, I made a rule for myself: no more hiding. I spoke English with myself when walking alone. I wrote 1 page a day in my English diary. I watched cartoons like Peppa Pig and Dora the Explorer, even though I was almost 17. But it helped. One day, I decided to try something bold. I went to a coffee shop in the city and ordered in English. I said, "Can I have 1 cappuccino, please?" The cashier smiled and said, "Sure." It was just 2 lines, but I felt like I had climbed a mountain. I went home that day and cried. Not because I was sad, but because I realized I was doing it. I was actually learning English. I started giving small presentations in school. My voice still trembled, but I didn't stop. I joined online forums, joined Zoom meetings, read children's books, watched interviews. I even started speaking English with my younger sister at home. She laughed at first, then joined me. Slowly, I became the girl in class who wasn't afraid to speak up. My grammar wasn't always correct. My pronunciation wasn't perfect, but my courage was stronger than ever. And then came the biggest moment. One day, our teacher asked us to participate in a debate competition in English. I raised my hand. People were shocked. Even the teacher paused for a moment. But she smiled and said, "Okay, Lisa, let's hear you." I practiced for days. I stood in front of the mirror, reciting my points. I recorded my voice and listened back. I rewrote my speech 5 times. The day of the competition, I stood on the stage. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding. But I took a deep breath and began. "Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa, and today I want to share my thoughts on." I spoke for 3 minutes straight. Not a single mistake. When I finished, there was silence. Then applause. I wanted to cry, but I smiled. That moment was my victory. Now I get messages from my classmates asking how I improved my English. They ask me for tips. Some even say, "Lisa, you speak better than people who went to English medium schools." I just laugh and say, I didn't go to any special school. I went through the school of YouTube, Google, and pure hard work. Even today, I'm still learning. I read, I write, I listen, I speak. English is not just a language for me anymore. It's my proof that nothing is impossible. To anyone listening to this who is struggling to learn English, I want to tell you this. Don't give up. It's okay if you can't speak fluently today. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if people laugh. What matters is that you keep going. Start small, one word at a time, one sentence a day. Talk to yourself. Write your thoughts. Use the tools you have. Be proud of every little improvement. You don't need perfect English. You need courage. And that courage is already inside you. Thank you for listening to my story. If I can learn English, so can you.